Now, and sitting down with us, Sheriff Joe Lombardo for our Morning Cup of Joe segment. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning. Good morning.
So welcome back. Last night we had a huge annual night out event. We were out at Town Square for that event. We know it's happening all over. How would you say the turnout was, and how can people really get involved with safety in their neighborhoods?
Yeah, it was called National Night Out.
Yeah.
It's an annual get-together of people in their neighborhoods, say hi to their neighbors, you know, get to know who they are, and then it's designed behind crime prevention. And it's based on the Neighborhood Watch program. And what Neighborhood Watch is if you have a particular neighborhood you live in, there's members of the neighborhood who want to be part of the solution versus the problem. They get together and they look out for each other. You know, they report suspicious cars, suspicious people in the neighborhood, you know, basically to see something, say something. We ask them to be excellent witnesses, not to get involved in fight crime physically in that manner, but the ability to call it in and say, hey, this just doesn't look right. And that's the recognition of that effort, that volunteerism with National Night Out on an annual basis.
And have you found, I mean, I would think this would be a deterrent to a would-be criminal when they see the signs that said this is Neighborhood Watch, we're keeping our eyes out to deter them and to pick a different neighborhood.
Yeah, it actually does.
Yeah.
I mean, that virtual omnipresence works, you know, because just like the overt camera systems placed on your house, people say, hey, I'll just look for an easier target. Crooks are looking for easy targets versus hard targets, and that's what we try to achieve with that.
Well, recently our I team reported about a cold case that Metro Detectives homicide unit recently solved involving a 13-year-old murder involving an elderly Las Vegas widow. So, Sheriff, let's talk a little bit about the detectives that handle those cold cases, the team that works to solving crimes, how they go about it, and the resources that they have.
Well, it's a small team. It usually involves former detectives, you know, full-time detectives that retire, but they still want to participate and give back. They have that skill set that's valuable, and you know, and it's a benefit to the police department. So what happens with a homicide case, sometimes you don't solve them, you know, and as time goes by, people are sometimes more forthcoming, willing to come forward, you know, because they've been living with that guilt for a certain period of time. But the biggest issue with it is, or not issue, the biggest benefit is technology advances over time. So as you can imagine, a full-time detective just continually getting the cases that they build upon, and then that cold case goes by the wayside because they continue to do the cases as they come forward. And so these cold case detectives take those cases that were lack of evidence when it was originally looked at to relook at it. And then the biggest advancements is in DNA. The ability to process DNA on different items in different amounts that we weren't able to in the past, we can do that now. And the speed associated with that testing is exponential. So years past, 6 months, you know, now we can do it in a matter of hours. So it's a big difference in ability to get some closure for those families of victims of crimes.
And as we saw in that one case, certainly it's paid off here in just the last couple of weeks.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you for coming in. And if you have a question for the sheriff, you can submit it on our website, lasvegasnow.com. Look for the link on the right side of the page. Find out if your question is answered every Wednesday during our 6 a.m. hour.
It is